So we're still working on her. I went ahead and put a little bit of stuff on her, a little bit of more accessories. Got intake on, fuel line, water neck right there. I got 2 more shims. I got to pull this cam back off. This cam, the exhaust cam, is actually done, so I can pull this off and put my seal on. This one's got to come back out one more time. I ordered some shims. They'll be on the way. So I can go ahead and seal this one, put the seal on it, and then put the valve cover on it. Get it ready. I'm waiting on the front seal, rear seal, the timing belt components, all that stuff's ordered. I'm just waiting on it to show up. So that's all I can do until I start getting parts. The shims are ordered. I figured those things out. Some were, I measured out the ones that were wrong, that were too tight of a tolerance. And I was able to interchange 2 that were small ones. They weren't small enough in the one they were in, but they were small enough to move them into another bucket and make it where it would work. So I only end up having to order 2 shims. So that I remedied at least the exhaust side. That's done, and the 2 shims I ordered, they'll be here, I guess, a couple days. So whatever gaskets I've been able to scrape up, I've put on here. I'm waiting on a thermostat, and that's really about all I can do until I get some more parts. I had the 2 guys I worked, Worm and Metzler. They went down to the rental house I was having issues with. They temporaried that. It's going to be a job where we have to tear out ceilings and insulation and do a whole bunch of stuff, and they'll have to kind of, I got a newborn baby, they'll have to kind of move to one room, and while we're doing all that, and we'll have to move all the furniture out of that area, and insulation coming out of the ceilings. It's the blow-in insulation. We'll have to take out some sheetrock, clean up that insulation, and put it all back in, re-insulate it, and sheetrock, and finish it, and sand and tape, mud, and stomp the ceiling and all that stuff. So we temporaried it until either they move or they can take a week and go somewhere else so we can tear that out, because it's a small house, just a little 2-bedroom, and it's just like super inconvenient to try to fix that with them in it, trying to live in there every day. So we just put a temporary band-aid on it for now, and then we'll go try to remedy that once we can figure out how to get in there and do the work with them in there. So, all right, that's all I can do on it for right now. All right, here we go. All right, as you can see, the shop is a wreck. I've got stuff I've been packing. I've been just kind of moving stuff around, getting organized to what still has to be worked on, and try not to send things I need to storage. So I've been kind of trying to make decisions on that whole ordeal. Definitely the 1J, it's sitting right here. I've got to get that in the S13. I need to find a hood. I need to drag that transmission over here. Just gathering stuff up. That's 240 stuff. The rear suspension, the headlight assemblies and all that. Some of the plastic interior stuff. Just a combination of things. And in the middle bay, I've kind of took it over to finish the 2JZ. I left the big cherry picker. That thing's stupid to move around. But the fourth bay over there, actually that end, I cleaned a whole bunch of stuff up over there. Once I get done with the cherry picker, I've just got to move it out of the way a little bit and get the S13 in and hook the 1J up and set it in, lift it and stab the new transmission in for it. So there's no sense in moving that big cherry picker back over to the fourth bay, because I'll need it right here again after I get the silver one motor transmission in. We'll start working down that way, and I'm pushing everything towards the front. You can see I'm kind of staging everything, and I've not cleaned that area, but I'm starting to stage everything, and that fourth bay is the same way. I've staged stuff close to the door, so either I work the guys again, or when I come, I can just open the doors, back my truck, and start setting things into the truck. I've got it kind of staged that way on this bay and the fourth bay, and I'm kind of cleaning as I go, sweeping everything. But 37 more days, it sounds more than it actually is, because we're going drifting, not tomorrow, but Saturday. We're going to Smoky Stadium drifting. I bought this little, well, my son did, this little Ford truck. Got a trailer borrowed, and it's a closer track for us, so we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to try to run out there and try to do some drifting this weekend. It's only about an hour away, so we're going to go do that, and then I'll come back and continue on with that stuff. So hopefully I can get some drift footage in. We can get to see some cars swinging around. Yeah, I'm just kind of picking through things, and I'm listing some parts on eBay that I don't need, and I still got to go through a bunch of Honda stuff. I've got like GSR heads, I've got B16 blocks, cranks. I don't know that I have a B16 head, but I know I got at least a couple of GSR heads for sure. I just scrapped a LS head. I went ahead and took the bolts and the oil pan and all that hardware to storage. I put it in a tote and kept it. But I'm gonna have to start digging through all this. This is a bunch of used 2J stuff, parts in here. And if I'm gonna deal with the 2Js, I'm gonna hang on to that stuff. It's not necessarily anything I need, but it's one of those where you start changing different power steering pumps and all that, and you don't know what pulleys you need, so you can't just start ordering stuff because you don't really know what you need. And when you got 2 or 3 different versions of it, you can figure out, at least what options you have, and then if you got one laying here, you're done. You just throw it on. And I do have a non-VVTi head. I don't really need that, so I may try to sell that or something, but I have a VVTi head that's going to go to the machine shop, but I'm just going to store it for now. Me and my son, we talked, and we're not going to do the non-VVTi in his just yet. I'm not going to have time. By the time I finish this IS300 that I'm working on, getting it in, I'm still waiting on shims and gaskets and some other things. By the time I get it in, we still got to clean all this stuff out. Still got to put the S13 motor trans in and a hood on it. So I may have to order a few things there to get that finished up, at least in the car. And I may have a buyer on that. I've got a purple EK Civic out here that I was going to do a head gasket on, which is the head's behind me. I had it machined. I may have it sold. Just take the head, take the whole car, and take the whole shabazz. I don't know just yet. I've been going through my toolboxes, kind of figuring them out, trying to, what do I need between now and then. I may go ahead and take this box to storage. I've been working out of this black one and off of this little red table mostly, but it's one of them where as soon as I take that to storage, there's going to be a tool in there that I didn't think about that I need. So I think I'm getting the horse before the cart, trying to take some of this stuff, because there may be a part or two that I'm going to have to go hunt and dig through all this stuff. And if I just wait a little bit and get the car stuff done, then we just take it all and just gather up and go. Probably just go ahead and set on this stuff right now until I get some of these cars worked on, and I'm at least staging it right there, and it's here. So if I don't take it just yet, it's ready to go. So if I don't need it, but if I need it, it's right here under my feet, versus I got to go storage and I don't know where they put it. So I don't think I've sent anything to storage yet that I will actually need, hopefully. I've left all the 2J pieces here and everything that I think that I'll need for that motor. I will have to dig for some bolts. I do know that when I put the 1J and the CD in the S13, I will have to hunt some bolts, and I think I'm gonna have to order a transmission mount. I hadn't even thought about that. I probably got to get a transmission mount too. Yeah, making a little headway today, but we're going drifting this weekend. That's the ideal. That's the goal. It's gonna be hot. It's going to be hot. I think it's gonna be like 94, 95, which I don't know if that's hot for you guys. That's definitely hot for me. It's not direct sunlight in here. It's humid, but it's not a dry heat. You go out here and it's, you know, baking down on you at 95 degrees. At least I can turn a fan around here. In the evenings it cools off a little bit, but during the day that sun's straight on this side of the front of the building over here, so it will cook you. I've been working in front of this bay right here with that door open, and it's miserable. That's where I'm at. The tables, I'm not worried about cleaning them up. I'm just gonna get what belongs to me and carry it. That sandblast cabinet, I'll scrap it. Gotta get my banners off of everything, all that stuff. Some cleaning supplies, and yeah, it's still gonna be some more time, but 37 more days. Hope I got enough time. But all right, here we go.